How do you buy football shirts for the best possible price? People ask me this question every day. Where do I get my shirts? And how to get the cheapest football shirts? If you've been here before, you've seen my other videos about shirt collecting. If not, make sure to subscribe so you can come back and check them out. Anyway, let's get going. I've broken it down into a few different strategies to make the market work for you. And no matter what your collection looks like or which point of the season we're in, this guide can help you find the shirt you're looking for at the best possible price. Let me caveat this by saying this video does not apply to fake shirts. I'm working on another video going into all the details about legitimate and fake kits. I'm gonna link that one below when it's ready, but that's a topic for another day. Before we dive into strategies, I have a few general tips to share. Tip number 1. Be patient. This applies to all of the strategies and can be one of the principles that will help you build a shirt collection. Whether you're looking for a vintage classic or a new release, patience can help you find the best price. Tip number 2, be ready to buy. Patience won't do you any good if the time comes to buy and you don't have room in your budget. Tip number 3, if the price looks too good to be true, it probably is. It's literally impossible to find an AC Milan 2006-07 kit that would be available in brand new condition for $35 or even $69.99. If this shirt is brand new with tags, it's costing a couple $100s at this point. More on that later though. Those are pretty general, so here are more detailed tactics and strategies on how to find cheap football kits. Tactics. Number 1, research. Before you do any purchasing, do a little homework about football kits. How much do new shirts cost? If you look at a replica Adidas kit, it may be $100 like it is ahead of Euro 2024. An authentic Adidas MLS kit costs $160 without printing, $195 with a name set. Familiarizing yourself with the pricing will help you avoid surprises when it comes to checkout time. Additionally, it can help to know which shirts you're after. Do you want the brand new home or away kit from your favorite club? Or maybe you're after a nice retro. That was the case for me with this Casino Salzburg shirt. There were similar shirts made for a few years in the 90s, but I wanted one that had this particular design. In order to find that out, it took a little bit of research. It's also good to build your baseline knowledge by finding out about where to buy these shirts. Let's take these Adidas MLS shirts as an example. You could get them from the Adidas site or from the official MLS store, just to name 2 places. Number 2, shop around. This strategy is guaranteed to save you money on football shirts. If you only check one retailer, it's impossible to know what the best price is. I just mentioned the example of the Adidas MLS kits. On the MLS site, you'll find this season's Inter Miami kit with Messi 10 on the back, the most popular shirt in America right now. On the MLS store, the price for the authentic La Noche Inter Miami kit with Messi 10 printing is $195. But on Adidas's website, the same authentic kit with printing is $180. Maybe not the best example since the jersey from Adidas's site does not seem to include the sleeve patches, but that's only relevant if we're examining the authentic player version. The replica version illustrates it better. On MLS, it's $135. On Adidas, it's only $130. Neither of the replica kits have sleeve patches or printing when it comes to MLS, so if that's what you're after, deals are definitely there to be had. Another personal example that I encountered was when I bought my Aston Villa 1957 FA Cup remake. This shirt is from ScoreDraw. It's actually not from 1957, but ScoreDraw recreates classic kits like this. You've probably seen some others. And there are multiple places to purchase it. Let's use the ScoreDraw Aston Villa 1982 Champions of Europe remake as our example here. On 3 Retro, the shirt is £28. On ScoreDraw, it's £40. And at Aston Villa's club shop, it's £45. Same shirt, 3 different websites, 3 different prices. If you're willing to shop around, you can oftentimes shave $5 to $10 off the price. Maybe that doesn't seem like a lot when some shirts cost $100 or more, but if you save $10 on 10 shirts, then your 11th is essentially free. And that really adds up when you have a serious collection. Number 3, wait for sales. When's the best time to buy a football shirt? When it's on sale. Football shirts are expensive, but they're not immune to going on sale. The most popular time for a sale is at the end of the season. As the club season winds down in March, April, May, clubs have to start getting rid of the inventory they have for the current campaign. And that means a price drop. New shirts come out in June and July, so clubs can't be wasting space by holding on to last season's shirt. As a result, you'll find deep discounts, sometimes up to 75% or more. Buying up old shirts for cheap is how classic football shirts went from a small business to an empire. And while it might not be your goal to resell shirts, the principle still applies to collecting. Aside from end of season sales, there are a couple other times when shirts can be much cheaper. Black Friday and in January after the holidays are 2 times during the season when you can score a shirt on the low. Otherwise, it kind of depends on the company and when they plan to have sales. I was just talking about the Villa 1957 shirt. I bought mine for $35.34 when it was on sale. I think that's like 20 pounds plus shipping to the US. It was on sale when Villa were playing in the FA Cup. That was just a promotion that ScoreDraw was running. Obviously, other retailers run their own promotions at different times. Another sale that I scored a huge discount a while ago was from Pro Direct Soccer. I got this Nigeria kit for $41 that usually retailed for $90, this Croatia training kit for $35, usually $70. And Venezia's 2021-22 third kit for $52, usually $105. $128 is a good chunk of change to spend on one go. But I've spent more than that on a single shirt before. This shirt, other shirts, I've done it a few times. It's also more than 50% less than the $265 that these 3 shirts retailed for. When you're familiar with more shirt sellers, you can be on the lookout for discounts and deals. Number 4, mystery boxes. Mystery boxes are also a way to find value. Some of the first shirts in my collection were procured through this route. I've actually given a few of them away, like this Emelec shirt and Erste FC Magdeburg. Emelec was $30 from Away Days, which is based in the USA. I also got this Benfica shirt for $30 from one of Away Days mystery boxes. Same goes for the Middlesbrough shirt that was actually my first giveaway. I got it from Curvico for $40. With mystery kits, a lot of times it's going to be cheaper if the country is based in your country. Shipping across the Atlantic is not cheap, so definitely look into that if you're going the mystery box route. Another thing about mystery boxes is that while many sites allow you to specify which clubs you don't want, it is a random shirt at the end of the day. So if you're hunting for something specific, a mystery box is perhaps not the best way to go about that. Another thing to check out is reviews. Some of these mystery box sites have become infamous for sending the same shirt to many people. Without going into too much detail, it's because they bought a ton of shirts from a club or another vendor at the end of the season, and now they're stuck with 1,001 club shirts. Number 5, secondhand sellers. This is a great way to save money on football kits. I've talked about secondhand sellers in some of my other videos. If you're not familiar with any, I'm sure you've seen them mentioned on social media or came across their products. I even mentioned one earlier in the video already. What I would define this category as is businesses who sell used shirts and not just new shirts. Some of the biggest companies in this space are Classic Football Shirts, Colt Kits, Golasso Kits, Saturdays Football, Retro Football Kits. I probably could do an entire video on all the different sites that sell legitimate retro kits. Maybe I will in the future. Just like how sporting goods stores sell the brand new kits from this season, there are plenty of shops that buy and sell new and used kits. Obviously, buying used is more sustainable as the product already exists, and oftentimes it's cheaper as well. But some of these shirts are not necessarily what I would consider to be cheap. The thing about retro kits is they aren't produced anymore. It's difficult to acquire original versions of these kits from the 90s. Like this, where are you gonna get something like this? That's why they're expensive, but not every kit is a 90s classic. There are plenty of shirts that are brand new with tags at these vendors too. For instance, I got this FC20 shirt from Classic Football Shirts for something like $30. It was still brand new, but it was the 2020-21 shirt, and I got it in the summer of 2021 for a bargain price. Number 6, social media and giveaways. What's better than buying a football shirt for a low price? Getting one for free! One of my favorite ways to give back to the footy fam is through giveaways. I know I'm not the only content creator who regularly does giveaways too. Clubs and brands are also running giveaways to help grow their follower base or promote a new signing. I see them on social media all the time, and it's a great way to grab a kit absolutely free. By the way, I'm giving away this VfL Osnabrück shirt soon, so make sure you're following me on all platforms to have the best chance to win. I can't vouch for everyone else, but I will say that everything I give away through my channels is going to be a legitimate kit. No fakes here. In addition to giveaways, the football shirt community on Twitter is regularly engaged in buying and selling. Especially in the UK, it's probably the best place to get a shirt at a good value. Lots of collectors change their priorities or want to sell some shirts to raise money for a new one or for something else entirely. I'm not saying to go out and buy a shirt from anyone you see on the internet, but if you're spending some time getting to know these people and can see who's trustworthy, you're probably not going to get burned. But why are these collectors selling their shirts at prices much cheaper than stores like Classic Football Shirts? Well, essentially, they're individuals, not a business, so they don't have as many costs associated with sales. I bought this Messi kit from Classic Football Shirts at their NYC pop-up for $200. But say 2 months later, I no longer wanted it and wanted to sell it back to CFS. They would buy it for about $100. Secondhand resellers don't know how long they're gonna have to hold onto a shirt before reselling it, which is why you won't get a lot selling it to businesses. Buying through individuals can get you a lower price, but you have to do more work searching for it than you do shopping at a store. So scan social media and you may come up with some savings. Number 7. eBay. Some of these individuals also operate online stores like eBay or Depop. These websites can be a great place to find kits for cheap. And I'll admit that I actually have a few regrets selling my kits on eBay. Like my Brazil 2014 away kit with Neymar on the back, I'm still not sure why I sold it. But I can tell you that I ripped myself off and I probably would have to pay twice as much to get it back now. Sad. Anyway, eBay can be a great place to find both new and used kits. Some new kits have such high demand that greatly outstrips supply. A recent example would be Wrexham. Wrexham is growing massively in popularity, but the club's outdated infrastructure and supply chain can't keep up, at least for a little while longer before the Reynolds and McElhenney dollars really turn it into a machine. Anyway, as a result, the Wrexham online shop was selling out of the new shirts super quickly. So if you weren't able to time the drop or go to the local shop in Wales, eBay was a good option. That said, the shirts were selling for much more on the secondary market than at the club shop, sometimes twice as much. So you might have to be willing to pay a little more sometimes. Something you also have to be careful with, and I mentioned this earlier, if the price looks too good to be true, it probably is. Take the authentic Nike AFC Richmond Ted Lasso kits. This shirt sold for $95 brand new last year. It was a limited edition. Nike didn't produce too many of them, so they weren't going on sale, meaning they're worth more now than they were a year ago during the final season of the show. Stop and think about that for a second. So how is one selling for $29 on eBay, brand new? Just like I was mentioning at the top of the video, if you see an old school retro shirt which hasn't been printed for 20 years, but somehow is new with tags and you can decide the printing options, it's a fake. If you don't care, that's your own prerogative, but I'm just telling the truth. eBay is great, but be careful. Number 8, go offline. The internet has everything, right? While you can find almost any football kit online, sometimes the best deals can be had out in the real world. Outlet stores. Nike, Adidas, Puma, they all have stores. In New York, they're trendy shops on 5th Avenue in the shopping district. In London, they're on Oxford Street. And most of the time, they only stock the newest jerseys that sell for full price. But outside of big cities, there are outlet stores that often have bargains. Thrift stores. Another way to buy secondhand is at a thrift store. Sometimes you can score ultra cheap prices. I got this England training kit from a family member who picked it up at a thrift store for $10. Just like eBay, you have to be careful if you're concerned whether the shirt is legit or not. There are ways that you can verify the authenticity of a shirt. I've got another video on that in the works, gonna link it below in the description. Club shops. Clubs have stores and they have to get rid of inventory sometimes too. I got PSG's 2020-2021 fourth kit on sale at the PSG store. It's the player issue or authentic kit, so it's tighter. You can tell some of the extra details here, like this. It's the player issue or authentic kit, and it cost me $135, including tax, instead of the usual $180 plus tax that would have totaled around $200. Not exactly cheap, but with the savings, I could go out and find another shirt too. Sporting goods stores. In NYC, there are specific football shops like Pele Soccer and Upper 90, Soccer Post. You may have seen my videos. I mentioned Oxford Street in London, which has JD Sports, Sports Direct, Nike Town, PSG. Well, JD and Sports Direct are sporting goods stores. Think of stores that sell general sports equipment but aren't necessarily soccer specific. These stores sometimes get football kits and inevitably some will go on sale. Other stores, even stores that you wouldn't normally associate with football shirts. In the US, that's somewhere like Burlington Coat Factory or TJ Maxx. In the UK, it's called TK Maxx. I don't get it, but it's a great place to shop for football shirts apparently. Somewhat random stores, but I've seen plenty of videos from content creators finding bargains. Conclusion, we've covered quite a lot today. Ultimately, there's no one way to find cheap football shirts. It's more of an art than a science. It might seem intimidating at first, but once you're familiar with the landscape, you'll be able to find deals left and right. I hope you found this guide helpful. Like I said, I'm building out more long-form content, especially around football shirt collecting, so stay tuned. If you're looking for a video about how to start a football shirt collection, I'm gonna link it down below and at the end after the credits. Thank you, Footy Fam. A special thanks to the VIPs and Ultras who are paid subscribers on the Footy Fam Patreon. This video wouldn't be possible without your support. If you wanna see your name in the credits and get other awesome perks like BTS content and more, make sure to subscribe via the link in the description.